Feng Shui is all about ceremony and energy, despite what the misconception is that so many people think that a Feng Shui practitioner just moves furniture. When it comes to Feng Shui, it's literally all about the details, the subtle details. When you get the energy right, everything else follows. You cannot cultivate self if you don't cultivate home. People ask me all the time, what makes me different from, say, another interior designer? Not only do I have a formal education in interior design, but I've also been practicing Feng Shui and studying Feng Shui for over 20 years. And I still work under a Grand Master to this day. These combined skills are how I create designs that are energy aligned. My philosophy is beautiful energy is what equals a beautiful space. If you jump ahead to the pretty part and you don't get the energy right, nothing else will follow, no matter how much money you spend. It doesn't matter if you spend $1,000, $100,000, $1 million. It doesn't matter. Get this aspect wrong or skip it and nothing else follows. Energy without information is simply chaos, and you'll feel it because off is off. So you may be saying to yourself, great, but what exactly does design that's energy aligned even look like? My team and I just wrapped up a great installation last week where we put in all kinds of Feng Shui principles and energy principles within the installation. And I'm going to share 3 of those with you today so that you can see what design that's energy aligned looks like. We took a basement that was completely open and I sectioned it off into 4 different spaces. By doing this, I created gathering chi. What does that mean? That means that by creating 4 different rooms within one space, it allows the chi or energy to flow. It allows it to meander. Energy without information is simply chaos. The second thing that I did is I created a mudroom area, and I was very intentional about the wall that I created in this space. If I took it too far to the left, that meant that that would create what's called a blocking wall. A blocking wall in Feng Shui has adverse health effects. It can cause respiratory issues and all sorts of other things. If I took it too far to the right, it would cause what's called a split. A split could cause nervous issues and other adverse health effects. So I had to place it just right to make sure that the energy flowed correctly and didn't have any adverse health effects on the homeowner. And the third thing that I did was I painted all of the doors in the space Corvette yellow. This was very intentional because doors in Feng Shui represent voices. Because this is a basement, it's a very yin space, which means it's quieter. So I wanted to make sure that these voices were exuberant and loud and the voices were heard. So you may say to yourself, well, who cares? Isn't that what all designers do? Haphazardly, they may do any one of these things, or maybe all of these things, but without having a true understanding of why energy flows the way that it does and how it flows the way that it does, you cannot go into these design decisions with purpose and intention. You don't have a why. If you don't know why you're painting the doors with intention, and you don't know why you're placing things because of a specific intention, and you don't know how the energy flows or have an understanding of the way that energy works in a space, then you're not intentional about what you're doing. That is what I do. That is what I have an understanding of. I have an understanding of how energy works in a space and how it flows or not flows. And because of this education and these combined skills, that is how I am able to create designs that are energy aligned. I give the energy information so that it's not chaos. So what I do is I go in there and I align it and I get it just right so that the space doesn't feel off. And that is how I create designs that are energy aligned. And that is what makes me different.